Yeah, so during this talk, I'm going to make some assertions and predictions about what engineers and scientists are going to be able to demonstrate in the future. So I think it'd be cool if you disagree with any of those predictions, raise your hand. I think that'll just kind of be entertaining to get a feel for the room. But the first thing I'm going to say is the redness quality of those flowers out there is not a property of those flowers. It's a property of our subjective experience of those flowers. It's a property of us. How many people disagree with that? Anyone brave? Okay, we've got a couple of people, but there's an easy way to falsify that. There's multiple ways to prove that wrong, but if you look at the perception process, it's a chain of events, and anywhere in that chain of events you can put an inversion of the signal. Like, for example, that phone for the B person, red is inverted to green and green is inverted to B, but our intuition is it's the phone that has the greenness quality, not the strawberry behind it. And that intuition can be removed if you move the inversion to be immediately after the retina instead of immediately before the retina, as it's displayed in here. So in that case, your subjective experience still has the same greenness quality, but there's red light landing on your retina. And that proves that that green quality is not a property of the light or the property of the strawberry. And science can't count for that. I see Mark shaking his head, so he's raising his hand. But so I predict that in the future they will say that Mark's wrong, and so he's disagreeing with me. And so, but if that is the case, and if there's a greenness quality in our brain, why can't we see that when we objectively observe the stuff in our brain? And the reason is because of this. This is a slide of data. That's my only slide in my set that doesn't have any color quality in it. And without any color quality, the data is meaningless. You can't know which one is according to redness and which one's according to greenness, the greenness part of your subjective experience. And so what that means, if our senses are only getting abstract data, where do we get the color quality information from? And what we're predicting is there's two different ways to gain knowledge about physical reality. And one is that our subjective experience is a detector of the qualities in our brain, that objective observation, even if it can observe, we may be able to measure it, but which measurement is the measurement of redness? But we directly perceive the redness. And so this is abstract, and all of our data is over here, but we don't see the qualities in our brain. We directly apprehend them. And are you aware of the people that various science experiments where they observe the data, the knowledge in the brain with various systems? One of them uses some of them use fMRI, and they train an AI to detect the data from the fMRI, and they're trained to interpret that data to display the knowledge that they're a representation of the knowledge that they're detecting on the screen. And one of the first persons to do this was Jack Glant back in 2011. And when he was showing this color data on the screen, I was like, whoa, has he figured out what that greenness is? Does he know what color to display on the screen? And so I called him up and asked him, how do you know what color to display on the screen? And his immediately answer, oh, we false colored them. They used the color map from the video that they're showing him to train the data. And the problem with that is, if you engineer a person to have a greenness experience from the strawberry and you put him in that, you train that model on it, and it's going to put the same redness on the screen as if you put this person. And so you can't detect different qualities from that kind of observation technique and that kind of false color mapping. And so another problem is the red terminology we use. It's ambiguous. You can't tell, is it the property of the light? Is it the property of reflectance? Is it the property of our knowledge? It's ambiguous. You can't know what we're talking about. And so you need a more, oh, did I use it already? Am I done?
You have 57 seconds.
Oh, okay. So we need a more advanced terminology. We can use red for the reflectance property of what's out there, but we need a different term to define to be our subjective experience of that. And so if you do that, then this person can say to that person, my redness, which is this, is like your greenness, and point to the leaves, both of which we label to be red. And that communicates to the other person what it's like. But that's still subjective reference, my redness, your greenness. And how do we objectify that and make it universal? And what we need to do after we have the terminology and the right way to observe the stuff in the brain and the right way to interpret the right colors is just to get the physicists to match up all of their objective data with our subjective experience so that we know which data is mapped to which redness quality, and once that's connected, so it's not a measurement problem, it's which measurement is a measurement of redness and which measurement of greenness. And so future engineers will say consciousness isn't a hard problem, it's just a quality problem.